All right, ladies, you are in for an amazing treat today. We have none other than Mr. Stacey Carver as our guest for today's show, for today's installment of Demystifying Men. And I got to tell you, I'm really excited to have Stacey as our guest today as we think about what we wanted to do in terms of rounding out and putting a pretty bow on top of season one. I thought it would be ideal to hear from a man who I thought was the epitome of what kingship looks like. And if you've read any of my Demystifying Men material, if you've gone to any events, or if you've read the Demystifying Men book, which you can grab a copy on Amazon, we talk about different archetypes of men, different stages of development, and king is the ideal benchmark that most men aspire to be. So I wanted to round this season off with a man who I know to be king. He is a husband to his amazing, amazing wife, Adrian. He's also a dad to 3 amazing children, 2 boys and a daughter. Stacey Carver resides out in the Maryland area. He is an educator. He is a college educated man. He's an educator. He's an entrepreneur. He's a husband. He's a dad. He's a pillar in the community. He is a distinguished gentleman of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and the list goes on and on. But what I absolutely adore most about Stacey is the fact that he is fully evolved in his gift. And folks, his gift is comedy. All right, so you're in for a special treat because we're going to ask Stacey questions in regards to the success behind his marriage and the longevity of being married to one woman and the challenges that has arisen in life as it relates to just living and being. But what I'm excited most about is that Stacey is going to deliver the information in a manner that will have you holding your belly, laughing, because he is truly coming to you and presenting himself in his gift. So in addition to that, Stacey is a comic that has been featured on BET Comic View. He's opened up for the likes of Eddie Griffin as well as Monique. He's even had his material and has been graced, he's been in the presence of Queen Oprah herself in a manner of presenting his gifts to the world. So let me not belabor the point anymore and tune into, or I should say, let's get the show rolling and share all that Stacey has to share with all of you in regards to Demystifying Men. Stacey, welcome to Demystifying Men. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me. You know, we family, so it's always a pleasure to be in your presence, whether it's virtual or in the physical. It's just beautiful to be here. And thank you for that beautiful introduction. I was surprised. I didn't know who you was introducing. So thank you.
Well, no, you are an accomplished gentleman all the way around. You and your beautiful wife, you both are entrepreneurs. You have a very successful dance school in the Maryland area. You're an educator. You are a proud member of your fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Incorporated. You're a dad. You're a friend. You're an overall great guy. And on top of that, you have the nerve to be extremely funny.
Thank you so much. I will cash app you as soon as this is over.
Well, wonderful, and I'll be sure to support and to fund the Cash App as soon as this is over. But I'm excited to have you on the show today, and I can't think of a better person to help us round off season one than to have you as a guest speaker on the show. And again, you know, the concept and the idea around Demystifying Men is really to help women as well as men get a better understanding of men overall, and particularly with regards to intimate and personal and you know, those types of passionate type of relationships with men. And you were one of the individuals that came to mind that we wanted to highlight and feature and interview on the show because you and your amazing wife have been married for over 20 years. You have beautiful and amazing children who are doing well, who are in school and upwardly mobile, and just wonderful contributors to society, and just wonderful, just human beings overall altogether. And, you're definitely one of the men who I would encourage folks to look up to and aspire to being able to achieve and to have the levels of success that you've had personally, as well as within your family, and yet still be in a position to be able to do what it is that you're passionate about, which is comedy. So we invited you onto the show because we know you're going to bring an element of comedic air with regards to the topics that we're going to talk about today, and it's marriage. We are going to talk about marriage. Are you ready?
I'm married. I'm ready. I'm married. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's go.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit about how you met your beautiful wife, Adrienne. Take us back to when you both first met, particularly when you really came to the understanding and awareness that she was the one.
Okay. All right. So we met in the gym, a funk aerobics class.
A what?
Funk aerobics class. Okay. Not just regular aerobics, funk aerobics. Okay.
I thought you said the other F word, but okay.
Oh, no, we was, yeah. Yes, indeed. No, this is clean. This is family.
Yes,
this is family. Come on now. But funk aerobics, all right. Sexy class, I'm single. So the class was so energetic and so powerful that on Friday nights, we wouldn't go to the club happy hours. We would go to the gym, and it was packed full of singles. So I've been there for a while. So I see this new young lady come in who I hadn't seen. And then I noticed she was checking me out. I said, oh, look, she liked me. So after the class, a quick story, she said, I think I know you from someplace. So I'm like, man, she running lines on me before I'm running them on her. And she's like, yo, I know you from someplace. And I said, really? So come to figure out, she found out I was a comedian, and she said, I know your jokes. And she told me one of my jokes, and she could have had one eye in the middle of her head. Right there, that Cyclops was the one right there. You understand me? I fell in love. But we got to dating after that. And I found out she was the one, I guess about 6 months in of dating. And I realized we were just so connected on so many things. That's how I think this is the one. It doesn't take me a long time.
That's the part I wanted to talk to you about. So you knew within 6 months she was the one,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And you have a lot of women who've been, dating men, and you've got a lot of guys out there dating women, and 10 years, a whole decade has gone by, and yet they're still not sure if the person that they're with is the one. But you knew within a matter of 6 months.
6 months, and never had thought about getting married before, ever in my life, and hadn't met anybody who had even put that spark in my heart or in my mind. And she did. So we met in September, we got engaged the next September, and got married the following September.
I love it. I love it. So what was that spark? You mentioned a spark. She captured your attention in a way that created a spark. What was it about?
We were just linked on so many levels, intellectually, spiritually, our families, and just our wavelength of things we talked about. We communicated about everything, and we got along, and it was fun. And I think a lot of people they think being in a relationship is supposed to be hard. It hasn't been hard. It's been seamless, just like a floor that's been laid.
Nice.
You can't tell if you have an open concept in your house. You can't tell where the floor starts from your living room that goes into your family room. It's just seamless. Even though, underneath there are all kind of boards, it had to all be put together. Nobody can see that. And that's how our relationship was. It was just seamless. And we just had fun, and we enjoyed each other. And we didn't stop each other from growing. We encourage each other in
Mm.
everything that we do. So she's a dancer and a model. I encourage her. She lives her life in that world. I'm a comedian. She knew my jokes, so she already knew what I did. So it wasn't intimidating. And I
Right.
think a lot of people are intimidated by their partner's crafts or their education, their job, or the hobbies that they have. But
Mhm.
we support each other in the things that we do.
Right. And she knew your jokes, and that was it for you, huh?
Oh man, she knew my jokes. I mean, little old Stacey, who nobody knows, but this young lady knew my jokes. I said, "Yo, I just saw you, and this is the joke she told me," and that was it. That was, and in fact, she was fine. She's fine as wine. So that helped it even better.
Oh, I bet. I bet. And it's interesting because, I teach women how to really help them understand men better. And one of the components that is a significant driver for men that is in direct connection to attraction is the fact that a man is extremely attracted to a woman who shows interest in what he does. Doesn't
Uh,
necessarily mean she needs to be a comedian, but the fact that she came out of the gate already sharing with you jokes that she heard that you shared and that you presented, that within itself is enough to really springboard you and to catapult you quickly into that level of attraction because
Absolutely,
you took interest in what you do.
absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. Matter of fact, you're making my heart flutter right now as I think about it.
The other thing that you shared too that I think is very important for our viewers that's watching the show is the fact that you have fun. And one of the stages that men grow through that I talk about in Demystifying Men, and I'm actually recording a course for it now,
Hmm,
is one of the early phases that we refer to as the night phase. And that's the phase where, the knight wants to go out and conquer as many worlds as he possibly can, if you can read in between the lines. And part of
absolutely,
that has to do with the fact that um, in that stage, he desires to have fun. And the woman that he has the most fun with typically wins. And it's also an element of that phase that stays with men throughout their life, in that, whether they met you today and you've been together 50 years later, the element of having fun with their partner, with their mate, is something that men treasure, and it definitely is a driver for marriage material.
absolutely, absolutely. You have to have fun.
Mhm.
One thing men don't like drama.
Mhm.
We do not like drama, and I think that's what happens in a lot of relationships. In the beginning, it's fun. And then once the hard questions come in, life sets in, and folks change.
Mhm.
And changing being, all right, things get a little bit more serious. And you can't, people, I think, have a issue with switching back to, okay, we got through that, we got over that hurdle, let's get back to being fun. And we got over that hurdle, now we enjoy ourselves because we just accomplished something. We just went through something. So now let's go celebrate. And I think every day you wake up should be celebration with your partner.
Absolutely.
Celebrate the small things. And that's what we did. So we didn't spend a whole bunch of time getting deep in what we were doing or why we were doing it. You know what? Let's start a dance school. I got you. I went out, I found a building. That's what I did. I went out, I found a building. I said, came, showed her, and said, this is going to be your dance school.
Wow.
We are 20 years later.
Mm, talk about kingship qualities. We're going to get into that a little bit later.
Little things. Come on. It's the little things. You know what? What you doing right now?
No, that's not little.
Let's,
That's not.
little thing. Little thing.
You went
You
and
know
found
what?
this woman a building.
Tonight is date night. Tonight is date night. Out the blue. You know what? Let's go have a drink and let's celebrate. Why? You woke up today. Let's
Right,
go.
right,
It's the
right.
little things.
Little things, yes, but you went out and you found a building for her
Absolutely.
to have her school. You not only supported her dreams verbally, but you took action in
Mhm.
demonstrating that you're all in with regards to helping make sure that she fulfilled her dreams and her desires and her passion.
Absolutely.
Huge. That's huge.
Absolutely. Like I said, I don't think folks should be uh, afraid, intimidated by your partner's aspirations and dreams. Because if my foundation is strong, I don't mind. I can support you. And that's how I look at life. If
Right.
I'm able to support myself, I can support you. I'm not intimidated. I want you to grow. I want you to be the greatest thing that ever has stepped on this earth because you already are. That's why I chose you to be with me. You are
Beautiful.
my star. You are my sun. I rotate around you. Come on, you light my life up every day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hopefully the men are watching and taking notes as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you both have been married for over 20 years. 21 years?
21 years, 21 years. We are now legal. Our marriage is legal. We can drink together.
I love
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So, what is the secret to your longevity? I have been doing a lot of work in regards to studying monogamy because, different strokes for different folks. There's a
Absolutely.
lot of different types of, unions, polyamorous and monogamous and, thruples and you name it, it's out there. And so I heard a psychologist give an interesting definition for monogamy. She
Okay.
said at one point in time, monogamy was one person for the rest of your life. And so now, fast forward 2021, monogamy basically now means one person at a time.
Mm,
Not
that's a
anymore.
lot right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
that's a lot right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would not put that definition in my marriage.
I would hope not.
we we gonna go back to the old one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I want to live.
what's the secret of your longevities? 20 years with one woman, obviously insanely blissfully happy. Your wife glows. I mean, her energy and her happiness radiates whenever somebody's in the vicinity of her, and you as well. So
Uh,
obviously you guys have some secrets. Inquiring minds want to know. What's the
well,
secrets, longevity and happiness in your marriage in
for
particular?
my marriage, it's communication, stimulation, and communication.
Communication, stimulation.
Stimulation and communication.
All right, care to expound?
You have to communicate and talk about everything that's going on with in your relationship with you, with your partner, and get that understanding and comprehension of what your partner likes, dislikes, where you want to go, how they feel about you. And then the stimulation, you still have to be attracted to each other. You know, that's important. I think a lot of people lose that attraction. And I know I stay in the gym. And when I was younger, I stayed in the gym. I wanted to get big and bulky. Now I call it keeping my sexy on. I'm 50. All right. And I stay sexy. One, I want to look good for Stacey, but then also I want to look good for my wife. I want her to be attracted to me.
Right.
And that's an onus on me. I want that. So it's a committed action that I put on that I'm not going to lose my marriage. I want it to be together. I want us to be together. I want to be able to stimulate you. I want you to stimulate me. So we keep it sexy, So I'm gonna look sexy, so we can be sexy. All right, and stimulate each other. And then after that, there's still more communication. Because I
Right.
found out with women like to talk.
Yes, we do.
They like to talk. Okay, and talk and talk and talk. And you have to have that listening ear because they're going to talk and talk. And a woman marries her best friend. That's what I found out. She marries her best friend. So you have to be that listening ear. And you can't be afraid to communicate, even if you don't want to. That's something I had to learn and grow as a man, that I have to learn how to communicate better. And that was a process that she helped me get through, you know. And that was something I did in the beginning. And then as we got later into our relationship, it kind of slowed down. Then I had to pick it back up, because I thought, hey, as long as I'm looking good, she's gonna be happy. But no, she still wants to talk. So communication, stimulation, and communication.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So tell us a little bit about what you had to learn in order to better communicate with your wife.
Mm.
Let's help some of these men who may be watching this show that are in a situation similar to what you shared in terms of, I'm really not good at communicating. I'm not good at sharing. I'm really not that great at articulating myself. And it may not even be the fact that they're not great. They may just don't, just it's not comfortable to them.
Yeah, it's not.
They don't
Yeah.
want to do. Men are not hardwired, and I've studied men extensively for years. They're just not hardwired to be the most communicative when it
Mm,
comes to expressing emotions. And so,
right.
what did you learn that could potentially help a couple or person that's watching this episode today in terms of how to better communicate with your spouse?
One thing that she helped me understand is that your actions speak more than your words. So you might say it, but your actions aren't showing it.
Oh yeah,
So I had to learn that I had to back up my actions with my words.
right.
So she's like, I know you love me.
A la buy a building, right?
Come on now. Uh, I know, but you know what? And she will tell you the physical is not what I need all the time.
Mhm.
Tell me you love me. Tell me I'm beautiful. But you should know already that I know you're beautiful and I love you. No, say it. Say it. You'll go out, you'll buy me things, but I want to hear you say it. So that's once again how that communication had to come back in. So learning to back up my actions with my words is something now that I had to learn not to shut down when things get tough.
Mm, that's a
A lot of
good.
men do that. You know what? I said it, it's over with. No. Mm-mm. Women like to talk it through completely. What do you mean? Now you have to explain yourself because a lot of times men think, look, I said it, that's it. It's no more. No. Talk, explain some more. Get some adjectives, brother. Get
Right.
some adjectives in your
Levels to the
vocabulary.
communication. There's levels.
A whole lot of levels. So you have to be an active listener and an active communicator.
Mhm.
So that's what I had to learn in my relationship.
Mhm. Mhm. And I'm glad you shared that because, and I know that information is really going to be very impactful and empowering to someone that's listening today because, again, communication is the basic foundations of a happy union. It's the
Mhm.
foundations of a happy marriage. And if you're not able to communicate, there's a problem. And communicating, I think, again, for the most part, people have different ideas and perceptions and thoughts and provide different levels of definitions to support communication. But the school of thought that I'm of is with regards to with regards to communication, it's not necessarily what I say that's important. What's most important is how you receive what.
Mm,
And so I can
absolutely.
sit here and speak and talk in a manner that resonates with me. But if it doesn't resonate with my husband, then it doesn't matter what I said because the purpose of communicating is to create that deeper bond and that deeper connection with him. So I need to speak his love language. I need to speak, to him as though I would like for him to speak to me, and vice versa. If my husband starts talking to me the way he desires to be talked to, then we just not talking, like you said.
Right. It just shuts down. And you know what? It's funny you said that. Had a conversation with a young couple, and he says when I talk to her and I tell her, she asks me a question, I give her the answer, she doesn't like it, and she goes 0 to 60.
Mm,
He says, so I just stopped talking.
right.
And what I learned was that a lot of times allow her to have her feelings about what you said. It doesn't mean she's leaving you.
Mhm,
Okay. Understand that hit a nerve, but she wants to talk about it.
mhm.
So don't completely shut down. Learn to have the hard conversations. Learn to have the hard conversations and see it through. I have a joke that I tell to really hit home. For those people who don't like to communicate, I say lack of communication leads to someone else's penetration. You better talk to them. You better talk to them. But and vice versa.
Lie.
Lack of communication
Right. right.
leads to someone else's penetration.
Talk about it.
You better talk. You shutting down, don't want to come home. You better come home.
That's right.
With somebody out. You better listen. In my house, you get mad, you can't go to bed mad.
Mm-hmm.
We old school. You ain't leaving. Look, we share this mortgage. I'm not sleeping downstairs. Okay, we gonna be in this bed together. You're gonna be on your 50%. I'm gonna be on my 50%. Time in between nighttime and morning, we better meet in the middle and work this thing out.
That's right. I love it.
We're gonna work this thing out.
I love it. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for our new segment titled Ask Rachel. And in Ask Rachel, this provides us an opportunity for me to answer questions that you have, burning questions that relate to your relationship, burning questions that relate to you wanting to better understand men, burning question that speaks to who you are and where you are in your love life right now, where I can provide some insight and helpful information to take you from where you currently are to where it is that you desire to be. This week's question comes from Keisha. Keisha is a 27-year-old woman who resides in Atlanta, Georgia, and she's got a burning question that I'm sure many of our viewers, or at least our female viewers, can relate to. So Keisha asks, I've been dating a guy I really like and I'm extremely into him, and I really want our relationship to go to the next level. However, it seems as though he's on the same page, but he continuously asks me for benefits that I'm only willing to give to someone who I'm exclusive with. And every time we have that conversation about exclusivity, he tells me that he's not yet ready for a commitment. Rachel, we've been dating for a year. What should I do? All right, Keisha, I've got some answers for you. And the first answer that I will share with you is that in 2021, what we are not going to do in 2021 is reserve seats. All right, my friend, this is the year that we decide to not reserve seats and give a person a position in our life that they're not quite yet willing or even quite yet ready to assume. And so what does that mean? That means if he is in a position where he's not yet ready to demonstrate to you that he's ready to be exclusive with you, however, he is asking of you to show up for him in a way that you only feel comfortable doing so for a person that you're exclusive with, then he needs to not occupy that position in your life and create space for the person who's ready to be exclusive with you, for the person who's ready to show up for you in a very powerful way as far as love and in a relationship is concerned, and who's ready to be able to ask of those things that you desire to only give in an exclusive relationship, but he's willing to reciprocate by wanting to be exclusive with you. So what we're not going to do is reserve seats for bench warmers who only want to warm their behind on the bench and take their sweet time before they decide whatever it is that they want to do. It appears as though you guys have been dating relatively long enough for him to decide whether or not he wants to pursue your relationship further, or whether he's coming to the determination that you may not be the one for him. So girlfriend, I am super proud of you. Stick to your guns. And if you're not ready to give exclusive like rights or exclusive qualities or exclusive benefits to someone who's not ready to be exclusive with you, then don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, and provide him with the opportunity to sit and warm someone else's bench. You deserve to have a man who's ready to show up for you and love you mind, body, and spirit. So here's a bit of advice I would give you. I recommend women to date in threes. And so if this person is the only one that you're dating and you're looking for exclusivity from him, but he's not yet ready to give it to you, but you really like him and you want to see where your relationship goes with him, let him not be the only person you date. Why not date two other gentlemen at the same time? Now, I'm not telling you to sleep with three men. That's a whole other mess that I'm sure you don't want to get yourself involved in. A lot of transference of energy that ultimately in the end may not necessarily be what it is that you want to do. However, when you provide an opportunity for other men to court you, what it does is it lets them know that, hey, you've got options. And when you have options, my friend, you have power. So don't allow anyone to warm their behind on your bench until they decide whatever it is that they want to do. If you're interested in having your own personal question about life, love, passion, intimacy, and men, if you're interested in having that question answered on future episodes, send me a message on Instagram at lovebyRachelDavis.com, and your question may be chosen for one of our upcoming segments for Demystifying Men with Rachel Davis. So, speaking of penetration, it's a great segue into the next question or the next topic that I'd love for you to expound upon and to provide the viewers your wisdom about. And it's the concept that a lot of men refrain from getting married, or a lot of men are afraid of marriage because word on the street is that when you get married, you stop having sex. That's what I heard. Word on the street. That's what
Not in the Carver household.
Okay.
Okay. Work is being done. Have hammer will travel. Please understand. Please understand.
Please understand.
Please understand.
Getting done.
Okay.
So okay, work is getting done.
Tool belt on right now. I am a plumber.
Okay. So how do you keep it spicy though? Because again, men are afraid to get married because they feel as though, the nook stops. They don't get the treats anymore. They don't use their tools. Like you said, the toolbox goes in the back in the closet somewhere. How do you keep, after 21 years, how do you keep it spicy?
Come on. Baby oil. If you want to be organic, you can go ahead and get sunflower oil, corn oil. All right. Well, stay away from motor oil. You're going to hurt yourself. All right. Listen, there are stages in a relationship.
Right.
So it's spicy in the beginning, especially if you're a young couple and then you have children. Mm-hmm. Children are the biggest cock blockers on the face of the earth. Okay. Yes. They shut down everything. Okay. And you got to learn how to get through it, brother. Get through it, sister. Okay. Understand, once again, it has to be something that you yearn to do and have to be committed to. Like I said, we got into this marriage. I said, we're not breaking up.
Right.
It's till death do us part. So, we on whatever I got to do to be sexy, we're going to keep it spicy in here. Know your levels of spiciness. Know her levels of spiciness. Some people don't like jalapenos. Don't bring home no jalapeno. Okay. Learn how to, know what her spiciness is. Get a little horseradish, add a little ketchup, stir it up. Yeah, that's her taste right there. That's her taste, and that's what you put on it. Okay, whatever your level is, learn to get it, but you have to want it.
Right.
You have to want it. So that means if you have to schedule it, if you're a schedule, put it on your schedule. You got kids. We're in a pandemic, so it shouldn't be any issues right now. But other than that, back in the day, it was on Sunday morning before we go to church.
Sundays.
Somebody laying hands.
On the Lord's Day.
Somebody laying hands before we drop these kids off at Sunday. Okay? Because we married now. We married. We married. So, but you have to want it. You have to want to be sexy for your partner. You have to want to spice it up, and talk about it. Say, look, this is what I need. Right. Even if your needs have changed. A lot of times people are scared of change. You know what? This is what I like now, or I think I like. Let's
Mhm.
try this.
Mhm.
Try it.
Mhm.
Don't get too crazy. Don't do a TI and Tiny. Calm down. You
Oh
know,
my goodness.
all right. So know who you're dealing with, but know your levels of spicy, which is real important. And you don't want to do anything that is going to I would say if you know what your partner doesn't like, you don't introduce that. Or don't talk. You don't force somebody to do something that you know they don't like.
Mhm.
So be respectful in your spiciness as well. I don't like pork. Don't bring pork to me. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. No
Something
pork.
that we both gonna like. Used to. Now you bring in some turkey meat. A little fish. I'm good. A little shrimp. You know, know what you like. I don't do real hot sauce. Dab. Just give me a little dab. Give me a little dab. We good. So know your levels of spiciness and learn your
Right.
level of spiciness. Which is important.
Right. And you mentioned something too about the fact that, especially after 20 plus years of marriage,
Mhm.
your desires are going to change, your wants are going to change, your needs are going to change. And, partaking in activities that's that you've been doing for X amount of years, a little diversity may
Come on, man.
may be, on the menu with
Come
the
on.
turkey meat and the shrimp.
There you go. Open
Right?
that menu. Oh, come on. Might be a la carte.
Right.
And you do. You have to look at what your partner likes, what you like, and revise.
Mhm.
And I mean, and women, you guys have sex toy parties all the time. Y'all have, a plethora, a
Yeah, we've
plethora
we've
of
got a
spice,
lot of options. We've got some options.
of
Yeah.
things to bring home. But also, you have to realize you have to want that with your partner.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of times married men feel that's for you
Mhm.
and it's not for him.
Mhm.
And especially as men get older, their body changes,
Mhm.
so learn, once again, we go back to communication, stimulation. Learn
Right.
how to stimulate your partner.
Right.
The same way women expect a man to know how to stimulate a woman. I think a lot of times women are, I guess, they don't really realize, and our society has never told women, all right, this is how you stimulate a man. You
Wait,
know,
you think so?
absolutely. I think absolutely, because a woman will quickly say, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's doing." But how do you know what you're doing? How do you know that?
Well, that goes
Because
back to
if
communication.
he is not stimulated, if he's not attracted to you anymore,
Okay.
he's not bringing it.
Mhm.
You have to revise what you're doing.
Right. And you're going to have to be able to have that communication, have
Absolutely.
you know, honest, open, and transparent conversation. I call it hot conversation or hot talks.
Come on now. Come on.
It's open and transparent. It can get hot.
And have that hard conversation. Hard conversation. All right. And I think a lot of times you have to be able to have a mindset where you can handle that with your partner.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
think some people get into a fixed mindset and says, listen, this is how we do it.
Right. And
You have to
vulnerability
tell
is also important too, to be able to say, you know what, I want to have a heart-to-heart conversation, a heartfelt conversation. And what is it that listen, babe, I think I may desire for you to, drop 100 pounds. And to be able to know that that's what I need in order to maintain my attraction to you. But being able to deliver it in a way where it doesn't hurt the person's feelings, because
absolutely. Absolutely.
the other part of it too, and I can't help but go back to the point of communication. And again, it's like I said, it's being able to communicate to your partner in a manner that will enable them to be able to receive the information, and
Mhm.
to know that it's being communicated to them in a manner that makes them feel safe, where their vulnerability will be respected. And
Right.
but yet and still to hope and pray that that level of communication will create the action that's necessary to get you your desired
And
result.
I think you're able to tell a woman that she needs to lose 100 pounds. There's not too many men who can say, "Hey, babe, I need you to drop 100, drop a, oh, drop that snack. Then I'm gonna like you again."
Yeah,
We
no,
just
yeah,
broke
you may not want to do that. Yeah.
up. Yeah, we don't do that.
No.
But having that conversation, saying, "Hey, you know what? I got this gym membership.
Right,
We're gonna start eating healthy around here." Like I
right,
do that in my house. I mean, but you things that say, "Hey, this is what I want us to do. I want us to look sexy together." You
right,
know, and
right.
when it's coming like that, things can change because we gonna look good. We gonna go out here. We gonna kill them. Wait till
Right,
they see us. I want us to look good.
right.
It's a us thing, not a me thing. It's a us thing because I know if I look good, it's gonna make you look good.
Mhm, mhm,
When you look good, I look good.
mhm.
We the yin and the yang. You know, you might not be perfect, but you're perfect for me, and they need to know that. You know, when I inhale, I take you in. You're the air I breathe. You give me life.
Oh, is that what
And
you tell your
I
wife? Is
need
that
you to
what you
be
tell
here all the time.
her? Wow, it's beautiful.
So if it's a health issue, I can't lose you because I won't be able to breathe again. So
Oh,
she needs to hear that.
right.
But in the back of your head, you're saying, drop 100 pounds.
You just took all of the all
Oh, took it all.
away from my car. You just took it all away from me. You just like, okay. Burst my bubble.
But I was giving you what you had. But that's how you have to say it.
Right, right,
And
right,
that's how I learned that women receive it.
right.
Men deal with the harshness. Drop 100, I'm gonna like you. Okay, we're gonna get in the gym. And women are like that to men sometimes. You can be harsh to a man. Men hear it. So we out here, we working, we hustling, trying to please,
Mhm.
you know, and that's how our lives have been. We learn how to take the hard conversation from men, from
Right,
other men, about what you need to do. And in relationships, we have to learn how to do the same thing,
right,
not let that be a turnoff,
right.
you know.
So let's talk a little bit about you coming into your personal power as a fully evolved, fully developed masculine male. And the reason why I want to preface this conversation this way is because you have a lot of men who still have work that needs to be done, and they're still in their growth phase, they're still in their evolutionary process, and they still haven't quite owned up to the responsibility that comes with a man who truly owns his power as a masculine male. And you're definitely there. You're definitely there, Stacey. Again, pillar in the community. You're a loving father, a wonderful husband. You're an educator. You're part of the community. You you're just everyone who knows you knows Stacey Carver, knows Mr. Carver, and have nothing but an overwhelming amount of respect and admiration for who you are, for what you've done, and for the trajectory that you are on. And so you definitely um, have come into your own, so much so that you even have the space. And it's important that men and women in relationships, in marriage, gives each other space in order to grow. You are given the space within your marriage for you to, you know, go in and uh, go out there and do what it is that you absolutely love, as far as comedy is concerned. And you gave your wife space in order for her to establish and set up her dance studio. And so you've evolved into the person that you are. How much of your wife was involved in or instrumental in you reaching the maximum potential that you've reached today as a fully evolved man?
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words once again. I think I'm still evolving,
Hmm.
and she added on a layer uh, to my life that I didn't know I had. You think you're fully evolved uh, because I take charge of my life. I go after what I want, and I try to get it. She brought to me that, you know what? Because sometimes what happens in my line of work is if one door closes, I just go to another door. The layer my wife brought to me was, you know what? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Oh, you're gonna get through that door. Oh, really? Yeah, let me show you what we're gonna do. And I trusted her.
Hmm.
I trust her because through our matriculation, through dating, I learned she had skills to get what she wanted, as she was a dancer and a model. So, and I'm not intimidated by her being a strong woman who goes after what she wants. And I think a lot of times I hear a lot of men, I don't think they could handle my relationship. They don't want their wife, their girlfriend to be stronger than them or to even maybe even rival
Mm,
what they do. So you can't be intimidated by that.
right.
I think that's a beautiful thing. If I'm a king, that's my queen.
Right.
She reigns.
Right.
I already had a pillar. She adds more onto that pillar that I gave her. Oh, that's awesome. You're something that God gave me. Why
Mm,
would I not want to show you off? Why would I not want you to shine?
right.
So she showed me how to appreciate her gifts
Hmm. Hmm.
because I allowed it,
Hmm.
and she helped, and that helped me grow. So now if I have an issue, I know I don't have to go some other place. It's in house.
Right.
It's in house. So if she looks at me to, hey, uh, something broke, I need you to fix it. She may not have any idea if I know how to do electricity, but she just assumes, you know what, you can do it because I've seen you do and fix other things before in the house.
Hmm.
So now for me, if there's an issue, I know I can go to her. Why? Because I don't have to, I know you know how to fix things. You're a critical thinker.
Hmm.
Okay. You know how to build a foundation. Okay. And build upon it and make it great. So that trust factor is which I didn't have in anybody else. She showed me that, and that helped our relationship. But that came through us experiencing things together. Me watching her through her craft, she watching me in my craft, and I gave her a suggestion. She may look at me because I most definitely I don't try to take over her world because I know I wouldn't want her to take over my world. But I
Right.
give a suggestion, and then she said, "You know what? That worked. Hmm, okay." And even with me, yeah, I think if you did the joke this way, it might go over better. Hmm. And it worked. Trust is built.
Right.
Trust. You know, as we look into each other's worlds and we come in, I don't want to take over, but I want to help you because I want to see you be the best. I want to see you be the best. You
Right.
know, so that's something that she helped in my relationship. It's not just me, it's us. Because when I'm great, she's great.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want us to wrap up, and we've had such a wonderful conversation, and I can't thank you enough for being on the show today. And part of the vision that I have for Demystifying Men is to allow women to hear from men,
Mhm.
to learn and to get the education from men on how to handle men, how to deal with men, how to love men, how to have better relationships with them so that when you know better, you do better. And you can in turn have what it is that you desire because you learn from men directly. So I want to wrap this conversation up talking about legacy. And it's
Mm,
important because, women are out here. and men too, referring, that's my king. That's my king. I got me a king. I'm like, boo, you got yourself a joker. Sweetheart, you got a pauper. Like you don't have a king. And I want to spearhead the conversation of king-like qualities. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a statement to belittle men or to emasculate men or to male bash. By no means. However, Stacey, if you want the title, then do the work. And so legacy is one of the major components of kingship. Kings don't hustle, they rule. And in addition to ruling, it is all about passing my kingdom down to the future generation, having a son to pass the crown to their son, or having a daughter to pass the crown on to the daughter. That's legacy. Share with us what legacy means to you and how you have demonstrated legacy, not only with your children, but with the work that you do to support people in the community.
Well, if I can go back,
Sure.
I think that women need to realize that the man that you choose, you chose him.
Mm-hmm.
So know how to discern a responsible man.
Amen. Yes.
Learn how to discern what a responsible man is. Okay. And I think a lot of times women don't know how to discern, recognize, see the qualities of not a man, a responsible man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what a lot of women don't realize, it's a lot of suspect brothers running around. A lot of suspect brothers running around. And I know when I say suspect, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I ain't talking about him. Because sometimes those brothers, sometimes they're the realest men in the room, the most responsible men in the room.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So ladies, when a man chooses you to be his wife, you're already made.
Mm-hmm.
Stop looking to make your king. He should already be a king. You should be able to move right into his kingdom. A lot of times women say, I want to help him do this. We're going to build. He should already have the building. He should already be there. He should have three things. He should have keys. Keys are important. Every man that you meet should have keys. I tell my daughter this, my sons this. When you have keys, that's responsibility, vision, and ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Responsibility, vision, and ownership. Tell my sons, once somebody gives you a key, that means we trust you. Mm-hmm. You're responsible now. Now you can have a key to the house. Now you can have a key to the car. Okay? I tell ladies, I tell my daughter, you meet a young man, he don't have no keys, don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. He don't own nothing. He ain't got nothing. He doesn't have responsibility. Mm-hmm. A lot of grown people, grown women watching this. Ladies, you meet a man, he got one key. Don't talk to him. That ain't his key. He didn't took that from his mama. You need a top and a bottom key. He only got the bottom key. So choose your man. Choose your man wisely. Know that he has to already have a foundation. He should already have his own house. No woman should be moving a man into her house. He telling you, I want to live with you so I can help you with your kids. You can't leave a lease. You can't leave a mortgage. Once again, you met him. He didn't have keys. Okay. Like I said, a man, he chose you because you have things already. Mm-hmm. Women, you shouldn't have to build a man. So when my wife met me, I had my own.
You had keys.
I had multiple keys. Mm-hmm. My granddaddy had multiple keys. My daddy had keys. That legacy comes down.
Right.
So I know you got to have keys. Any of my sons, you meet them, they'll have keys hanging from the side of their pants. It lets you know they got some, and you can hear the jingle. Keys. Keys are important.
Mhm.
Keys are important. Ownership is important. So that legacy is what my father gave, my grandfather gave to my father, my father gave to me. Now that I pass on to my two sons, my daughter, okay? Meet someone who's honest, kind. Meet a kind man, someone who is not afraid to tell you he loves you,
Mhm.
not afraid to tell you that you're great and you're going to be great. He doesn't have to belittle you. A lot of men think I got to be hardcore, and be this thug. And you 50 years old, let it go.
Uh,
You're too old. You're too old. Okay. Your arch done failed. Let it go. All right. You can't wear Timbs no more. All right. So that legacy of being respectful, being a gentleman,
mhm.
you have to be a gentleman. My father's a gentleman. My grandfather's a gentleman. All my uncles are gentlemen. And they rule.
Mm.
They facilitate in the house. They're not afraid. They're not afraid. Oh, that's what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. If mom says we're going to do it like this, okay, we changed, plans have changed. This is how we're going to do it.
Right, right, right.
So uh, knowing how to discern what a real responsible man is important. I wanted to hit that. So it's important to me that I share that with my sons, with my daughter, with my nephews, the
Mhm.
boys in my boys etiquette. I do a boys etiquette class, So we talk about those things. I have the 4 A's: articulation, association, attire, and aspirations. Every man has to know how to articulate his wants and needs. He needs to be able to articulate his aspirations, where he's going to be. You need to know where you're going. What's your roadmap to success? Who are those people you're going to meet along the way? Attire, you need to know how to dress. Very important. Ladies, you should stop treating a man like Build-A-Bear. All right? You taking a man, you dressing, I got to show him how to dress. He's a grown man. Why doesn't he know how to dress already? So you starting below ground. You don't even have, the foundation is not even there.
Below zero, right,
That causes a problem.
right.
And don't just rush into wanting somebody just to have a body.
Right, right.
So stop treating that man like Build-A-Bear. He should already know how to dress. Every man should have a suit, a black one, blue one, a gray one. If we say at the basic, shirt and tie. Come on now. All right. And association. Who does he associate with?
Mm,
Very important. Show
very.
me your friends, I'll show you your future. If you 50, you still on the corner, something wrong. That's not the man for you, boo. You don't have, that's not a king, as you said. That's a joker. He playing games. He's suspect. He's suspect. Still playing games. So that's the legacy we building kings, young men who are laying foundations,
Mhm,
young men who will be the next leaders, the next Barack Obamas of our world,
mhm.
the men who are going to build the next industries in their communities, starting scholarship foundations, okay, and not being afraid to say, this is what I do. I think a lot of times men are afraid to say, this is what my partner I do.
Right.
I have no problem. I say it on stage. You Google any video about me. I talk about being married. Stacey Carver's Married with Kids comedy tour. Have taken it all over the world. Being proud of who you are. This is my queen. This is what we do.
Right.
These are my kids. Okay? When we go out, we dance together. You meet anybody who knows, not being afraid to dance. I'm not that couple. I never understood those couples who go to a party, one person's over there, the other person's over there, and they never meet up. Or I'll be with my friends, you be with your friends. No, y'all know the Carvers walked into the building.
Right.
You don't know that. And she can go be with her friends for a minute, but let follow me. Come on. Let the DJ drop, follow me. Oh, we looking through the crowd. Come on, let's hit this dance floor.
Beautiful.
That's what we do. And see, and a lot of times people think about the spice. That's spice right there.
Mhm, mhm.
That's spice. And I'm dancing with you. I'm not trying to impress anybody else.
Right.
You are the apple of my eye. Right now, spotlight is on you. I'm dancing with the star,
Right.
not the stars, the star, because we are the stars. But I'm dancing with you. So that's what we do, and that's how my father is. You know, you walk through the door, you hug your lady. You know, you come in, you give her a kiss. You know, you bring her old school candy.
Things.
You get bonbons and squirrel nuts. You know, you keep it spicy.
Right.
You know, and you know, don't be afraid for your children to see that,
Mhm.
because they're going to want a relationship like that. A lot of people have turbulent relationships in their minds that they've seen from parents, grandparents, you know, aunts and uncles. I don't want that legacy for my children or for people who come in contact with me. You know, 50% of Black marriages break up. Okay, that means the other 50 surviving.
Right.
Okay, why are you not highlighting them? Oh, you're
Exactly.
going to highlight me. You know, I want people to see my relationship. And you know what? That wasn't a conscious thing. It was for me. But over the years, people have looked and said, yo, relationship goals. I never looked and said, I want to be like that couple or this couple. I said, I want my relationship to work because we're going to be the bomb.
That's right.
We're going to be great. I don't have to compare it to anybody else. We're happy. We're going to build together, you know, and we're going to build what we want to build. It doesn't have to be what somebody else is doing. It's what we're going to do. You know, it's like when I watch your relationship, you know, you and Johnny's relationship mirrors mine. I mean, I look at you guys say relationship goals. Come on now. I need that. Two good looking people together, you know, speaking unapologetically.
Thank
How many people can do that in their relationship?
you. Right.
Speak unapologetically about the good things about their partner. So I don't get into conversations with other men about and complain about my relationship. Because I tell my friends, if I start talking about my relationship, you're gonna think something wrong with me. I have nothing to complain about.
Exactly.
And the issues that I do have, you can be like, that's nothing.
And it's important for you to be that example. And it's important for people to hear that there are couples who really don't have issues. And I want us to stop normalizing trauma
Right,
or normalizing discourse or normalizing fights and arguments
right.
in relationships. That doesn't have to be normal. We don't have to be making that normal.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think arguing and fighting in a relationship is normal.
Right.
I think that's horrible.
Right.
I think that's horrible. I can't do that. The whole makeup, break up to make up. If we got to be fighting, I don't need to be with you. I know we don't do that. No, I'm a lover, and we loving all the time. We go and not saying the relationship is perfect. You have your issues, but it shouldn't get to that point to where I don't like being with you.
Mhm.
That's an issue. People saying, we've been together. And I don't think just because you've been with somebody a long time means you need to be, that's the right person for you.
Right.
Because a lot of times if you've been through so much bad stuff with somebody, I think you need to reevaluate your relationship. Why y'all keep going through bad stuff? There's something wrong. Something wrong. You know,
Oh my goodness.
the good should outweigh the bad.
Absolutely.
I mean, the good should, on that scale, it should be tipping all the way over on good. Come
Absolutely.
on now, come on. I want that Davis love in my house.
Yes.
I won't. We're gonna put a camera up.
Stacey, my friend, it was an absolute honor and pleasure and privilege to have you as a guest on Demystifying Men. And we could not think of a better person to help us round out the first season than with a man who really is the epitome of what it means to be a fully evolved man that other men can look to and aspire to and say, you know what, this brother's got it together. And this is what I want for myself and for my marriage and for my love life. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. But before I let you go, and it pains my heart to let you go because you're just a delight to be around.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
Tell the folks how can they get in contact with you. You are a world renowned uh, comedian. I mean, you've been in the presence of Oprah herself as far as your skills are concerned. So tell the folks how to get in contact with you if they are in need of your services.
So you can find me on Instagram. That's Laugh Makers, Laffmakers, on IG. Also, Stacey Carver. That's what my mother and father named me. So that's my real name. That's the stage name. That's the government. Not afraid of my government. And once again, I'm never afraid of who I am. So on Facebook, you can find me. You can also find me on Gig Salad under comedian Stacey Carver. That's it. Hit me up. Also, you can go to www.staceycarver.com, Married with Kids Comedy Tour. Right there. Holla at me, come see me. Let's laugh. As soon as all this pandemic is over. Nobody breathing on me right now. Oh, I don't want to do that.
No.
Put your gloves on. All right. For the single people out there who looking for somebody, no gloves, no love. No mask, don't ask.
I love it. I love it. Thank you again, Stacey.
Thank you for having me.
So appreciate you for being on the show. And all the best to you and your family. Please give Adrian my love as well.
Absolutely. Give Johnny my love.
Will do. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes season 1 of Demystifying Men with Rachel Davis. And I have to tell you, words cannot express how much you all mean to me. For the fact that you've been on this journey with me over the past 6 weeks with regards to having pertinent information being shared with you about the archetypes of men, me delving into my own personal life with all of you, and bringing my husband to the stage so that he can give you intimate details about our relationship and how I've used the information Demystifying Men for the betterment of our marriage. And even take you deeper into our story as he shared with you his near-death experience, how he has an experience on the other side, and why he truly is a testament that miracles still come from heaven. From having our amazing sex expert talk to you about all things related to passion and confidence, to our beautiful, beautiful Valentine's Day episode, to now wrapping the season up with an individual who truly is a testament of perseverance. So folks, I am so excited that you stuck through this journey with me, that you've been here week after week after week, and no amount of words can tell you how much that has touched my spirit and how the overwhelming amount of response has moved me to my soul. And so with that, I want to send you all and share with you, look you deep in the eye and give you a heartfelt and sincere thank you. So thank you for being here with us for season 1. But just because season 1 is concluding does not mean the party has to stop. It doesn't mean that we still don't have an opportunity to stay connected. And it doesn't mean that we won't be back for future seasons. So here's what's going to happen. If you're not already following me on Instagram, please do so. You can find me via Instagram at Love by Rachel Davis. And again, Instagram, Love by Rachel Davis. If you're on Facebook, you can also find me on Facebook as Rachel Davis. And the reason why I want you to connect with me there is because within the next couple of days, I'm going to share some incredible information with you all about my upcoming podcast titled Rachel Davis Live. And so you don't want to miss the opportunity to continue this conversation. We're going to further this conversation even deeper with regard to the podcast, so that way you don't have to wait an extended amount of time for us to be connected until season 2 is aired on Teen Noir TV. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what happens, no matter where you go, no matter where I go in life, a piece of you will always be with me because you are among the first. You are among the first to be part of this amazing journey in my life. And I'm looking forward to keeping you close by as we have other opportunities to stay connected via the upcoming season and the podcast on a go-forward basis. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Take care. Take charge. God bless. If no one has said this to you today, I love you. There isn't anything that you can do about it. And we'll be in touch soon. Bye-bye.